Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a kind of an impromptu last minute book haul. So a lot of these books are actually used books, but they're new to me and they're books I kind of accumulated within the past few months. A few of these I have not like introduced or shown on my channel, but a few of these I kind of had like scattered here and there throughout a couple of videos. But I was like, you know what, I've been running out of ideas lately just because my mind's been so boggled with everything else personally and like with school and everything, and I was like, what kind of video can I do? And every time I look at my shelf, I'm always reminded of all the new books I'm excited to read and endeavor on, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna compile everything into one large book haul because yeah, I feel like these books should have like a special video of their own. I just want to talk about these. So a lot of these books are books that I kind of accumulated within the past few months. They are books that were gifted to me either from like holidays such as like Mother's Day, anniversaries, or books that I also have received using just like birthday money or anything like that, like just anything in regards to gifts. So I'm so grateful for every type of way that I've received all of these beautiful books. And also a lot of these books are used books, which I don't know if you guys are like this, but I love used books. I feel like, okay, are my glasses too much? Okay, I'm gonna take off my glasses. Yeah, I'm gonna take off my glasses. I'm sorry. It's kind of hard for me to see, but I'm gonna try the best I can. I have crazy bags under my eyes. Oh my gosh. And also, sorry for this like really crazy messy background. Life has been chaotic lately and it's been kind of hard to just find like a time to just like sit down and do like a formal sit down video. I feel like vlogs have just been the easiest type of videos because when everything's crazy, at least I can kind of like whip out my camera, do a vlog, like a reading vlog, and those have just been like the easiest videos to do right now. I do miss having sit down videos, to be honest. It's been like almost weeks, if not a month, since I've had like a formal sit down video. Some of the videos I had posted were like pre-recorded and I just haven't had a chance to just do like a sit down video, and I've been waiting to do like a formal sit down video. And yeah, I don't want to make this intro super long because I kind of just want to get into the video, but I do just want to say like I'm so sorry if lately I haven't been able to do a lot of these like formal videos. Pardon like how crazy I look right now, and then also the background being kind of messy. There's just so much stuff going on and a lot of new changes, and I'm just trying to adjust to everything. And I also I'm trying to find the best time as well as mindset and area to record everything. But the one video I was kind of like lingering, it was like lingering in my head, was doing a book haul because I do have a lot of books that I feel like I could share with you guys and I could talk about with you guys. Going into that, I want to say that a lot of these books, again, they are used, but they're new to me. And we found like a local used bookstore, and I don't know if you guys are like this, but used books are actually one of my most favorites. I feel like it's like adopting a pet. They just had another life before and you get to reuse that life and to make it your own. And I just love how like sometimes used books, they have, not only are they super cheap and affordable, I mean, you already had to take down a tree to have a book, but you're kind of helping it a little bit better. But instead of buying a new book, you can also help the planet a little bit better by just having reused books, as well as saving money on your wallet. And books with like little dents and little, you know, like love marks from like who had it before. It's kind of nice to know that it's like, oh, this book was once loved or not as loved, but now I get to love it and I get to have it. And yeah, I just love the characteristics of used books. Sometimes used books too, they are completely new and for a way cheaper price. I just feel like used books are like one of my favorites. It's, you don't ever feel guilty getting a used book. And yeah, a lot of these books, none of them ever range more than like $10 or $15. I think there's 2 books in here that are new books, but yeah, but that's it. Other than that, I'm so excited to share. I have a bunch of them. So overall I have 16 books. There are 2 books that are duplicates, but I'll kind of go into that. And yeah, I am excited to just compile all the books I have received for the past few months into one video, and we can just talk about it. Without further ado, let's get started into today's video. So the first book I wanted to share is Ready Player One, and this book is by Ernest Cline. And I've watched the movie, but I hope the lighting's not bad. This is just like, please pardon like everything about this video. Like there's no professional lighting. The background's kind of a mess. Actually, let me move that paper towel thing real quick. Everything's kind of a mess, and also, yeah, just please disregard everything right now. It's just been kind of crazy. But I hope you guys will enjoy this video nonetheless. Any video that has books, I'm like, as long as it has books and someone talking about the books, that's all I care about. But the book I got was Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. And I've actually been wanting to get this book because I've heard that this book is really good. and I've seen the movie. I did like the movie. At first it took me a minute to get into. I just wasn't into the whole theme of it, but also, just to go in depth, I'm not going to be going over the whole synopsis about all these books because there's just so many. I have overall 16 books, but yeah, I just want to let you guys know. But yeah, so if you have seen the movie is really good. It took me a minute to get into, but once I got into it, I was like, I really want to read this book, and I've heard that this book is really, really amazing. This book is a paperback, and I think this book was like only $6, $7. It wasn't bad. And yeah, I'm excited to go into this. It was actually really good condition. Like, none of them, the spine isn't dented, there's no crease on it, the corners are like really good, so I was like, this is perfect. And I've been wanting to get this book anyways, so I'm excited for that. And then the next book I got is Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, and I want to read this during like fall, October time. I don't know for sure. I just know that this is like based off of magic system, and I've heard it's really, really good. I think this is like a young adult. I'm not for sure, but I do love young adult books. I feel like they're always so fun and so magical, so whimsical, and sometimes I feel like some young adult books are so detailed and really immersive when it comes to like magic systems and fantasy based type of books. So I'm really excited to give this a try. The only thing about this book, it did have like a little, like, this is not a sticker unfortunately, but I didn't mind. I feel like I like how like thick this paperback is. It's kind of like hefty. I think this was only $7 as well. And also the edges are, there's no dent on it, so I was like, that's perfect. The corners are perfect. It doesn't even feel like it's been read. I don't even know if this has been read. It doesn't feel like it. I'm really excited to get my hands into this. The next book is The Layover by Lacey Walden. I did talk about this book in one of my other videos, but I'm excited for this one. This one, along with a lot of the other books I'm about to show you, was at another local bookstore that I just consistently go to, and now it's become like one of my most favorite places to go, because finding a used bookstore in your local area, totally recommend it. 10 out of 10. If you find one that you actually like, sometimes I feel like I want to go there more than I would like a normal new bookstore, because I don't feel so guilty about getting a book, and I can get, why get only 2 books when I can get 10 books for the same price? So, but I'm excited to get into this because this, I think it's like more of a summery spring type of rom-com, and I feel like this would be perfect to have on my TBR. I did talk about this already, so I'm not going to go too in depth about it, but I just thought the cover was so pretty and so colorful, and yeah, it gets me so excited to have like a summer rom-com. Okay, so this book is a little bit different. This is not really a novel, but it's more of like a self-help type of, it's like a shorter read, so each chapter is like really short paragraphs, and they all go into like different topics, I guess you can say. And this was actually a gift, and it's called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield, and it's about how to break through the blocks and win your creative so it says it's break through the blocks and win your inner creative battles. Honestly, this book has come in handy so much when I just want to do some like really quick just reading. Sometimes when it comes to self-help books, I do love self-help books, I do love non-fiction books, but the thing about those is that you have to really, for me, I have to be in like the mindset for it, because I want to really take in a lot of what I'm reading, and that's why I kind of reached out to them. But one thing I really loved about this is I kind of started reading this a lot when I started my YouTube channel, and whenever I'm kind of feeling like in like little slumps about like my creativity is just like kind of blocked, or I just need like a little bit words of support, I would just kind of reach out to this. It's really quick because each one's like a little paragraph, and it just kind of gives you like a little bit words of encouragement and some advice as well. So I just feel like it's such a good book to read and reach out to when you're experiencing anything like that, even if it's not just YouTube, but anything where you have to use like creative freedom. I feel like this is like a really good book to reach out to. Plus it's like kind of relatively small, so it's not that bad. I feel like this was a perfect book for my YouTube channel. Okay, and one of the other books I got is Legend by Marie Lu, or I don't know if it's Mary Lou, but I've been wanting to read this for so long. So this book was only $5 at the bookstore I found. It's actually not bad. There's maybe just like a little bit dents on the corners, which I don't care, because I feel like as long as the words are intact and the pages are intact, I'm good about it. The only time I'm ever like a little iffy is if the spine's kind of messed up, but I don't mind. Plus this is just the dust jacket, and overall everything looks really good. So this is what it looks like on the inside, just a plain black book. I've heard that this is really good. I think there's a second one. I think this is a duology, I'm not for sure. So it's supposed to be kind of like a dystopian world, kind of. I think it's kind of supposed to be, if you can compare it to like maybe Divergent or Hunger Games type of thing. And honestly, I love young adult dystopian worlds. I feel like next to young adult fantasy books, I do love young adult dystopian worlds. I feel like those are just always so fun, so intriguing. I love the world system for it. And I've heard that this book is really amazing. It was only $5, so I didn't feel bad getting it. And yeah, I'm excited to dive into this. Plus, if it's not a whole series, I don't feel like I have to have a huge commitment to it. So that's what makes me a little bit more excited about it. So I'm excited to get my hands on this one. Okay, the two books I also wanted to include really quickly are two books that I picked up at, it's actually on my bookstore come book shopping with me vlog. Yeah, I already featured these books, but I'm just gonna include it in here really quickly because these are some of the new additions I have with my new family. And I'm gonna just show it really quick because they're beautiful. I love thick, chunky books. Oh, there's a fruit fly. This is like the only thing I hate about this time of season. There's like so many fruit flies everywhere and it's disgusting. Ugh. I love thick, chunky books. I just feel like when books feel like textbooks, it's just, we should petition for more textbooks type of books. But this is Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and I think this is another dystopian world as well. Heard amazing things. I'm not going to go in depth about it because I've already talked about it in that video. So this is one of my newer books. This is from Barnes & Noble, and then this one was from Barnes & Noble as well, and it's called Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. Doesn't this give you tingle vibes? I've already talked about this in the bookstore vlog as well, but I think this is like a fantasy dystopian type of world with romance. So I'm excited for that, and it just gives me like huge Tangled vibes. I love Tangled. It's actually one of my most favorite Disney movies. Tangled and Princess and the Frog, top tier. Love it. But I'm excited and I love the cover for it, and it sounded really intriguing. So this is the new one as well from Barnes & Noble. This one I'm so excited to share because I've been looking high and low for it, and it's like a childhood memory book, and it is Aragon, Christopher Paolini. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering it. I'm really not trying to. I read this a very, very long time ago. I don't even know if I finished it. I read it when I was really young, and I remember having a hard copy of it. I think what I had was like the Scholastic version of it. Sorry, I'm on this chair and it might squeak, and I'm gonna spin around on it a lot because how can you not? But yeah, I've been looking for this book everywhere. They did have the other ones. I believe they had, I don't know, I can't think about it right now at this very moment, but they had the sequels to this. But this was literally, I think it was only $7, and it's like completely in great condition. It's like brand new, but it's like completely brand new. And then like, look, any books with maps, it's like bonus content. It's so gorgeous, and it's like in blue and white. And I don't know, I love books when it has like this. It reminds me of Harry Potter. And the edges is gold. And I just wanted a copy of this because I want to reread it again, because I literally don't remember anything that's happened in it. But I do remember this being one of the books I read when I was younger, and I had to have this on in my collection because it's a childhood memory. This and Tale of Despereaux. I'm still looking for Tale of Despereaux, but I want to find like a used copy that was kind of like the kind I had, which had like these like frayed edges. This little part was like dark red. But yeah, Tale of Despereaux was like one of the other books, and I think Inkheart. Yeah, those are like the books I had when I was younger, and I for sure need to go find those. But I was looking for this book everywhere, finally found it, and I was completely stoked. The second I saw it, I was like, oh, I need it, because every time I went to the bookstore, the used one, I would always find the other ones, but not this one. And I was so shocked when this book was like completely new. Like there's not even nothing, like no dents. It looks like this book hasn't even been touched, but it was only $5.99. Like, how amazing. I just feel like that was such a blessing. Like, this is such a gift. This is so, I was looking for it everywhere, and when I found it, I felt like I was just so excited. I can't even get over it because I've been looking for this, and I wanted to add this to my collection. When I found it, I'm finally able to. So yeah. Now this book I felt really lucky to find as well. It was really cheap. It was only $11.99. I think it's only a few dollars cheaper than the new one, but I just want to save a few bucks. And this is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Sorry, I have to really read it in order. But yeah, it's The Serpent and the Wings of Night, I think, by Carissa Broadbent. And you guys have probably seen this book trending everywhere, all over BookTube, because a lot of people have been talking about this. The synopsis sounded really interesting to me. I'll just read it for you guys, just in case if you haven't heard about it. But it says, the adopted human daughter of the Nightborn vampire king Araya carve her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. but winning won't be easy against the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, Araya is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain, I think, is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet, what terrifies Araya most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. But there's no room for compassion in the Kajari. War for the throne of House of Nightbrews, shattering everything that Araya thought she knew about her home, and Rain may understand her more than anyone. But their blossoming attraction could be her downfall in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. I feel like this is so perfect, and yeah. So I'm excited to get into this. I've heard that this book is really, really good. I've heard a lot of people talking about this book, reading. I think it's like a fantasy romance book. I guess you can kind of put in that genre, but it's like vampires and goddess of death. Like anything goddess of death or gods of death, I'm like, sign me up. Okay, we're like almost getting down to the list because I feel like this was so many. So I already did a whole reading vlog on this. Maybe not the first book, but I finally read the selection series. And I feel like this was something that I really wanted to have on my bookshelf. I am gonna say one recommendation: if you don't have a used local bookstore around you, a local used bookstore around you, I would highly recommend trying Amazon. If you go down to the cart section, like where you're gonna like buy it, and you scroll down to the bottom, you can put look for more or something. You can click on that link and then it will lead you to some used copies. I would just highly recommend reading the description, see the ratings on it, and just see what it says, because sometimes it might be misleading or it might not come exactly how you want it to. But each of these itself are $5, and I know they're not new, but I wanted a copy on my bookshelf because I feel like the first book I read, the selection, it's gonna be a comfort book. And I wanted this to be on my bookshelf. I've been looking for, I was surprised this is like my first time I've read this because it's so old and everybody has already read it. But when I read it, I was like, okay, I know why this was, because if I read this when I was in high school, I would have buried this with me. And I wish I read it way before because I feel like I would have been so much more attached to it. I do feel like the first book is going to be like a comfort book, and I also really like the last book. I do like the Elite. I did a whole reading vlog on it, so I'm not going to go in depth about it. I do feel like this is something I really want to have on my bookshelf. Although, I don't know, this might be, I don't want to get any hate for this because everybody might have a different opinion. I like the spines, like how they look, but honestly, I don't know. Whenever there's like actual people on the covers, I don't like that. I don't know why. I just never been a fan of like actual people on the covers. The dresses are gorgeous, like it's beautiful. I don't know, it might be like too white casted, but it's maybe not my thing. But I do love like how they look on your bookshelf. And yeah, this series was so fun. I only read the first 3 because I wanted to mainly read about the characters that I got really attached to. And yeah, so I'm so happy I have a copy of it on my bookshelf on my own, so now I can just reach out to it whenever I want. I have become really attached to this world and these characters. It's like a dystopian Princess Diaries, Hunger Games, Divergent type of world. Okay, they're not like top tier condition, but for me, it was reasonable where I can accept it. Obviously, you're gonna have like some like dents right here, and then you're gonna have like a little bit, you know, maybe a little dented. Some of them were as like perfect, but honestly, I don't mind because this is just for me to read. The tops are a little bit dented, and that wasn't as bad. So if you're curious of like what it looks like if you were to get it new or used. Also, okay, I gotta be really quick because my camera's gonna die. But yeah, everything was really fine, really quick, really cut it down really super fast. I did accidentally receive a paperback copy because Amazon, I bought a new copy. All my copies were $5, but I put hardback for every single one of them. They accidentally sent me a paperback, so when I put it as like a return, they said that I can just keep it. They refunded me back the money, and that's when I used that money to go get the hardback. But I think what I'm going to do is, because this one was my favorite, I want to annotate this one because, yeah, I want to be able to look back at it and remember the parts I absolutely loved and the characters I loved in these books, because it was definitely a comfort series. Like, it was so simplistic and really easy to fall into. I love the characters so much. I love the romance in it. Loved everything about it. Okay, the last 3, or the last 2 I already talked about in the video, so I'm gonna be really, really quick. But Dark Breaks the Dawn by Sarah B. Larson. I talked about this in one of my vlogs. This one was used as well, and it was only $5.99. It's a young adult fantasy book, and I think it's based off the fantasy The Swan. So I love that. I love retellings. I think that's so cool, especially when they kind of like morph it into their own words, and I'm excited to reach out to this. And also it was in really good condition. For $5, it's like untouched. Plus the inside looks really cool. Red books with black writing is like, I'm gonna sit down. Like, I don't deserve to talk. And then I talked about this one already as well, but Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and this one was in the best condition, but it was only $7.99. It's a hardcover, and yeah, the only thing is they had this part that was like cut off, which I honestly don't mind, but still great. Maybe the corners are a little dented. Didn't mind. I really did want to finish this book. I definitely wanted to. I got this. I checked this book at the library, but I didn't get to finish it in time, and I was in a major reading slump, and I wanted to read it. I actually really enjoyed it. I just think that at that time I couldn't be committed to a really big heavy book because I was just wanting something kind of like more light, more something to get simplistic to get me back into reading. But I really wanted to read this again, and I felt like this was something I definitely wanted to have on my shelf. So when I saw this, I was like, I have to have you. I have to have you. And it's only $7.99, so I'm excited I got that. Last one, if you're a fan of Friends, this is a little bit different than all the other books I have, but it's a memoir, and this was a gift as well. And this is Matthew Perry's Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. I think there's a lot of trigger warnings in this, so just be aware. But a lot of memoirs should have like trigger warnings because it's real life, it's raw, it's uncut. But yeah, I read part of it. I read like the first chapter, and it's really deep and really crazy when you get to learn about someone's struggles and their personal life, especially when it's someone that you used to watch on TV all the time and someone that you see and you're just reminded that they're human. And honestly, I love memoirs. I feel like they really like help you reflect on everything in life. So this was really fun to read, and it's Friends. I freaking love Friends. But it's a yellow book. I love yellow, especially like Woodstock yellow. I don't know if that's even a color, but I feel like this is what I think of Woodstock. And black writing. I think if I ever made my own book, I would make like a yellow book. Okay, but that is it for my big book haul. I'm excited to have shared all these books with you. I'm excited to compile all these books to a dedicated video. I was actually debating if I even should, because a lot of these I ended up I've had for a while, maybe like the past few months. Like I said, a lot of them were like gifts, like last minute buys. They were just scattered here and there when I picked them up. But I was debating if I should have even shown it, because I kind of like feature them here and there. But I thought about it, and I was like, not everybody watches every single video or every single post, and I feel like having a dedicated video for all these books they're worth it. They're new additions to my book family. They're new exciting ambitions that I can have for the future, like new future books I'm excited to read. And yeah, and I do want to do like a bookshelf tour. I do have a lot of stuff going on, so maybe like once I'm settled, I can do like an official bookshelf tour. But for now, I'm just going to show you some of the new additions to my book family. And I am so grateful, so blessed to have a lot of these given as gifts. And yeah, they just held a lot of great memories when I went and took these trips to the bookstore. So I'm so grateful for these gifts. I'm so grateful for just all these books and for being able to get these books, especially with, you know, like when it comes to birthday money or gift cards, and being able to use those for the books that you want. But I would definitely recommend finding a local used bookstore if you can, because it's amazing when you can buy books at a really low cost and cheap price. Affordable books are just everything. And then also, I feel like it's kind of nice knowing that a book was once loved and then you get to love it. Knowing its history and then knowing where it used to be and now it's in your hands. It's just always nice to like reuse and recycle books. Although I do love new books too, so ain't no shame in that because I still get new books sometimes. I am so happy I got to film a video for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys on the next... Okay, it cut me off because my camera died, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!